Welcome to tonight's episode of The Winner's Mindset. I am your host, Peter Nicado, bringing you winners in business and in life to share with you the ideas, the actions, the tools they use to achieve success. Tonight, it's our pleasure to have a true winner, a woman who made it from the bottom all the way to the top. She came to this country with nothing, not even speaking the language. Now she's a very successful businesswoman. She's the president of the Fames of Hawaii. She's also a speaker and author. And she's with us today to share the secret she used to achieve that kind of success. Welcome to Joni Redick-Yundt.
Well, thank you so much, Peter, for having me here.
It's a real pleasure to have you.
It's kind of funny because I normally do this, and then now I'm like here with you, and this is amazing.
Yes, and we're all eager to know more about who was a Joni before and who is a Joni now.
Great question. Well, like you mentioned earlier, I had nothing. We had a very humble beginning. I was born and raised from the Philippines. I was 14 when I came here, but I vividly remember as a little girl that I want something more. I want more, but I never thought that I would be here in the United States where I realized my dream. So, with nothing, it's kind of like your story actually, almost the same. With nothing, couldn't speak English. And then here we are.
Yes, when I was reading your book, I said, well, I think it's like I am reading my story. I came to this country with no money, no connections, not speaking the language, and she's exactly the same.
Yes, so, and we work hard, right?
Really, really hard. That's one of the key to success, work hard.
Exactly.
So how was the beginning when you arrived to this country? How do you have a dream in the Philippines, or that dream was formed right here in America?
No, in the Philippines already. And the one thing that I really remember, it was really, because we didn't have anything, and it was so luxury to watch a movie once a year. And I could really, when I go and see the movie, and I saw this beautiful woman, and I was thinking like, oh my gosh, I would like to be just like her someday. And that stuck in my head to look just like her. So in my mind then, I was thinking, okay, but where am I? I was surrounded with rice fields, chickens, pigs, So I never thought that I would be where I'm at today, but you just never know. You just never know. Somehow God hear your prayer and the universe work with you. And so here I am.
So you had that picture. That's what we call nowadays visualization.
Visualize, yeah. I'm really huge on visualization, Peter. Everything that I have, and I put that in my book, actually. I have it all written here, that if I wanted something, even just a simple watch, or a beautiful business suit, or a pink car, or to be at the top in the business I'm in. It's so powerful, and they said actually, that visualization is more powerful than knowledge.
I totally agree.
Because I'm not that smart.
I totally agree. If you really want something, you have to see it first in your mind. It's been said that things are created twice, first in your mind and then physically.
Yes.
So you bring it from the invisible to the visible.
Exactly.
So that's what successful people, athletes, they do every single day. They visualize what they want.
Right.
And they materialize it.
Right.
So that was your dream in the Philippines, and then you came here, and you've been using that visualization techniques every single day to achieve.
And that's what I tell to a lot of people. Whenever they ask me like, oh, you do so many things. It would be so long. It will take us all night here to tell me everything that I do, but it's somehow I don't limit myself, and which I share that to a lot of people. Because we are here, there's a purpose why we're here. And I was told, correct me if I'm wrong, that 10%, we only use 10% of our brain. But can you imagine if we stretch it out to at least 50%? So I'm kind of stretching that out. And every opportunity that comes in, when they ask me to do this, and just like I was asked to purchase a franchise of Mrs. Hawaii, the scholarship program. And I thought, wow, this is kind of neat. I didn't even know existed. But I've been coaching a lot of other young girls or other, older that are planning for the pageant, preparing for themselves. So I enjoy helping, educating, training, coaching these women or young women that want to be in a pageant because just like for me before, and they're fortunate now that they have a mentor. I wished I had a mentor. Maybe I could have even more.
So
further.
you never had a mentor before?
I had no mentor. My whole family, we were, like I said, we were very poor. I didn't have nobody to look up to, actually. And so I kind of like motivate myself. I inspire myself, you know. So I just keep talking to myself. I keep feeding positive thoughts in my head. And then just keep visualizing, like I said, and all of those ingredients. And the number one, very important again, is having a positive attitude. When you have that positive attitude, everything follows, like believing in yourself, determination, hard work, you know, because otherwise then you can't really do too much.
So you never had a mentor? Because I was going to ask you any
Yeah.
role model or any book that inspired you to embark in
No.
your career.
Actually, I didn't even like to read a book. I didn't own any books until I read Mary Kay Ash, who then became my mentor. But it's not like she was there physically. You know, I just read her books, and that was about it. I just dreamed to be, someday I would like to be like her.
The
to
Mary
be
Kay.
able- Yes, Mary Kay Ash.
So you started, but then your real mentor was...
I didn't have nobody.
But after was she? She was the one guiding you and giving you ideas and tips and...
Well, because she was in here in Hawaii and she's in the mainland, but how I was able to, and I only met her once actually, but because Mary Kay Ash, she owned Mary Kay Cosmetic, which that's where I was able to develop my confidence. I was very, very shy. Chapter 3, nobody believes that now. I would never even talk to strangers.
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
Yeah, people.
Yes.
Yeah, and they asked me, oh, why don't you join? I says, oh no, I'm not that sales type. I don't like talk to people. I was very shy. For 2 years, they kept encouraging me. But I didn't have, like I said, I didn't have anybody. But deep in my heart, I want to be somebody someday. But how? So no matter how hard it was then, because in my mind, I want to be in a beauty pageants. There's so much that you can learn, but how? And then I didn't have the resource until I was invited to one of those meetings. And all these beautiful women, they were so excited, they were so energetic, they're beautiful, well put together. So like, oh God, I want to be just like them, but how? I couldn't even stand up and introduce myself. So that's how bad I was.
Oh. So what was the key catapulting you from the bottom to the top?
By having that positive attitude. And again, I wanted to provide something for myself someday and for my children that I didn't have. So that's what I wanted to, I wanted to excel. I wanted to elevate myself to where I know that my children will be proud of me, which they are right now, actually. And just to know that I have done something positive in my life, and that's why also that I have Famous Hawaii, which is mentoring, educating, motivating, and leadership development. And it's a joy for me to see that my officers and board of directors, I see them growing. I see that they're getting out of the comfort zone, and that's one of the key why I have that, because again, for me, I have comfort zone. I just very shy, like I said. So it kind of helped me to guide them, to encourage them to be able to speak in front of people, which that's as you know, as a speaker, that's the most scariest part for everybody.
The number one fear
Right.
in the world. Yes.
And number 2 is death, right? Yes. So that's kind of weird. But yeah.
So in FAMES, you are like the mentor or the master mentor, training those young ladies to be more confident.
Or men.
Or men
Or
too.
men as well, yeah.
So you are the main and mentor.
Yeah, being the CEO and founder. And I was about 12, 13 years ago, actually, I was told that, oh, Joni, you shouldn't be. I was discouraged to put together Famous Hawaii because they thought I was doing too much. My friend, my legal counsel that I talked to, I said, can you help me? He said, Joni, you're doing too much. You should rest. You shouldn't be doing this. But like for me, I don't know, there's always something that I wanted to do so much more. I want to make a huge impact in our community, the people I'm around with, to be a positive influence to other people, especially the younger generation.
Yeah, because I heard somebody calling you Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And I see now why. So many things that you can accomplish And it's commendable.
Well, thank you. And I think that's the reason why I mean, I never thought to write a book, but Dr. Richard Shetler, who learned about my background and all the things that I do, because I mean, between my full-time job and all with the kids, and being a TV producer as well with Olelo, as an author, and I've been really enjoying going to schools as well, high school, intermediate, and other nonprofit organizations, and speak. That I'm the #1 advocate, I think, here in Hawaii about having that positive attitude is really the key. And in my book, actually in here, it shows that 100% of your success is your attitude.
Your attitude.
And you can do anything. Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop me now.
Yes, I remember when I was reading the book, chapter 3, it says, Joni believes, turn your passion into action and make it happen.
Exactly.
Chapter 3, right?
Chapter 3. And my chapter 1, get up, get out, and go.
Get up, yes.
If you don't get up and get out and go, how are you going to be able to, I mean, people always tells me, Peter, oh, Joni, I have a dream, I have a goal, I want to accomplish something, I want to be just like you. Okay, let's go. When I tell them what I do, it's like, I can't do that. But you have to sacrifice something in order to accomplish something. You cannot just say, okay, I want to make $100,000 a year, and then when it rains, oh, I'm going to stay home because it's raining, or I have a headache, or no, you have to get up no matter what. You have to re-energize yourself, and that's why it's so important too. You have to take the right supplement.
Yes, I know that when I'm consulting or coaching people, I always ask, how committed are you? 1 to 10, 8, 9, and I say, why? If you are not 100%, why should I be 10?
Right.
You have to be 10 if you want to be successful. That's the only way you're gonna get it.
Exactly, or more sometimes, you know. And people think that I'm always working hard. I tell them, it's like, hey, every Sunday I go to church. They say, oh, you really do? I said, of course, God first. Like with Mary Kay's motto, it's God first, family second, career third. But when you know how to balance, you know how to prioritize, organize, balance, and budget your time, you can do so much more. I mean, I kind of work and play at the same time. And because of the work that I do, it's just like it's not even work. Getting to know the person and educating them, sharing them the things that I know. And before you know it, now we become friends and like family. So that's not work.
Right.
So it's up to you. It's all in here.
In your
Mindset.
Mindset.
Yeah, it's all a
1 million.
mindset.
Yes,
Right.
attitude. And Joni, can you share with us what is the most challenging part of your career, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I think prospecting for what I do, being as a managing director and a financial specialist, sometimes talking to a lot of people, they don't look at, oh, I don't need this one yet. Oh, I cannot afford it. But what I tell them, you cannot afford not to. So, but again, because they just need to be educated, or they don't look at is their first priority. They'd rather spend, going out or spending into expensive cars. 10 years later, they see me, I see them. It's like, hey, how's life? Oh my God, I have 5 credit cards. I'm paying so much, 16, 18% interest rate. And that's when I said, let's sit down. Let me re-educate you. And it's so funny now because I have my clients that's been with me 10, 15 years. Now they realize what I was saying. They said, Joni, or the one that, agree with what I was saying, but not really understanding what it was, but they said, I trusted you at the time, and now I understand why. Some of the people now, they said, I wish I did it. It's just because I didn't know. So it's all, again, about education. People, 10% will get it, 90% don't get it. And that's the most frustrating part sometimes because I really want to help them, but by not understanding it, and of course I don't want it to kind of like be, pushing them for something they don't really believe in sometimes. But I said, hey, next, okay, who's going to be the one?
So how do you deal with that?
I pray a lot. I pray and I say, God, continue to give me the courage to encourage these people. Give me the strength. Give me the understanding and the patience so that I can kind of understand them as well. And then I'll just go on, and then I'll just go to the next person, to the next person,
So you use the $1 million attitude.
Just have that $1 million attitude.
How did you come up with that title for the book?
Great question.
Yes.
So, like I mentioned earlier, Dr. Richard Shetler, So when I met and Charles de Gaulle, who you know,
Mhm.
actually, he introduced Dr. Richard Scheller to me. And I'm always looking for a great speaker. With thank you very much for being one of our speaker
Oh, thank you.
at FAMES a few months ago. So he was introduced. He learned my humble beginning, and then because I do, and at the time I started as well BNI, which is the largest business network international. It's in 37 countries and almost 5,000 chapters, and I was able to create the fastest growing record-breaking chapter here in Hawaii, $1 million chapter.
$1 million chapter, wow.
Yes, and put $1 million chapter top 5 international. And then I have my fame survey as well, plus work, plus, right? So he asked me like, wow, Joni, how do you do all of this stuff and be on top of everything? And that's what a lot of people like wondering, how do I, because normally they always say, just concentrate one, and that's it. You can never do two or three things at one time and be on top of everything. But I make sure that I can do everything.
I've noticed that, yes.
So then he goes, so when he asked me that, I was like, how do you do it all? And it's like, I don't know, I just blurt it out. With my $1 million attitude. And then he asked, like, have you thought of writing a book? I said, no, never entered my mind. I don't know how. I don't have time. And let me help you, he said. Like, how? So I thought he was just pulling my leg. But here it is. Oh, my God. I never thought in a million years to be able to have my story in here.
Very inspirational book.
Thank you. And
yeah, I read it, many notes, and I still remember some phrases from the book.
Thank you. And I have with my second edition, which was, you missed it.
I did.
July 4th at the Majestic, and it was sold out. It was full
signing.
house. My second book signing. It was beautiful. It's beyond my wildest imagination. And I was told that, no, I couldn't have it exclusive. But with my determination, with my having a positive attitude and visualizing everything, in just 2 weeks, I was able to put everything together.
In 2 weeks.
Just about 2 weeks, because they told me no. But I was like, okay, how can I convince this lady? So, and you have to know how to negotiate as well. You have to see when you have the credential and people respect you and see who you are, and they can see right through you. And I told the lady, I said, you know what, this is not for me. This is for our community. This is for the younger generations, because Peter, 100% of profit from my book, it will help build Empowerment Academy International for young women. And that's my dream. I hopefully that it will come into fruition before I hit the ground.
Okay, so that's the goal.
That's the goal, to be able to sell 1 million by the end of this year. So I'm just putting out there in the universe, talk to so many people, and we'll just see what happens. But you know, if it happened, that's great. I'm putting my best shot. And if it doesn't work, I was like, hey, you know what? It's just life is.
But you're using the same technique, visualizing.
Right.
Do you use affirmations as well?
Oh, all the time. Oh my gosh. I tell my my friends that after I dress up in the morning, I go in front the mirror and I talk to myself. You're going to have a wonderful day. You're going to beat somebody. You're going to be productive today. And then kiss myself and then go. But it's very, very powerful to do that. You have to have that affirmation all the time. It's powerful.
It's powerful. Everything that I have created is based on visualization and affirmations.
See?
I am the founder of 8 businesses, and visualizing and affirming what I want every single day. People have told me, Peter, it doesn't work. Of course it doesn't work, because you try 2, 3, 4 days and that's it. You have to do it every single day and believe it.
Yes.
You have to feel it. It's a connection, not just mindset, heart set. A connection with your mind and your heart.
Yes.
But you have to be consistent, and take action.
And that, yes, consistency. And I think that's what Fletcher Jones, the owner of Mercedes-Benz, that he made a comment about that. They see my persistent and consistent.
You're very persistent.
Yeah, I don't take no for an answer.
I know that.
So, which is good. But again, you have to have that positive attitude, because a lot of people, again, they have that negative thoughts. They keep feeding that negative thoughts in their mind. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, I don't think so. What if they say no? Now what? But again, what I tell to people too, because they always ask me like, "Oh, so you're always positive?" Well, when you look at a battery, there's positive and negative, right? And there's going to be, that's what life is all about, knowing and understanding what life is all about. There's going to be always challenges in our life. I have some challenges, but you have to learn how to overcome them, how to go through, all of those challenges. So visualize now, picture the battery, there's the positive and negative. Now, if you have both positive on each side, does it work? Doesn't work, right? No, it doesn't.
Doesn't work.
So you have to have that negative and positive.
It's a balance.
Yes, the balance, and that's how you make you more stronger. God doesn't put anything in front of you that you cannot tackle. But again, always, constantly, just keep praying all the time.
Yeah, because people get a no and they stop. And they need another no, and they even get depressed. I learn when people tell me no, N-O, is because they want to know, K-N-O-W, more. So it's like, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more.
Right.
And the more no's I hear is because the yes is coming.
Right.
It's getting closer.
No, just like Thomas Edison. What I tell to people, they quit right away. Go look up Thomas Edison. How many times he had failed? Otherwise, he would not have electricity.
The electricity.
Right. So what if he say, okay, I'm gonna stop. I failed like 800 times already. Right? So you're getting closer and closer, like you said today, yes. So I just keep going and going and going until I succeed.
See, perseverance. You have to be persistent.
Yes.
That's the only way to be successful. People nowadays want easy way.
Exactly. They want more money with less effort. That is so sad. Very sad.
Yes, they don't want to pay the price.
No, they don't want.
They don't want to pay the price. They want to go and
just magically just appear.
They want to go and see the show, but they don't want to pay for the ticket.
Yeah.
No, you have to put effort, time, and money. So that's
sometimes I can get in for free.
Yeah,
no. But you have to have that credential. You have to know people.
Of course.
Yeah, so I know what you're saying. That yes, you have to pay the price. You have to. Otherwise, people just keep hoping and hoping. Sometimes they tell me like, Joni, you're so lucky you have all this, or you are who you are. I said, you know what lucky means? When you go to Las Vegas and win $1 million. That's lucky. It took me years to be where I'm at. It didn't take overnight. And just like for you too, and very, very impressive, your background. And I think that's why we kind of relate to each other, because you went through a lot. It's like, wow, reading your books is like very impressive. He did not quit. But look where you're at right now, interviewing Joni.
Now that you mentioned that, a friend of mine told me a long time ago, Peter, you are so lucky. You came to this country with nothing. Now you have businesses, have written a book, and this. And I said, I got a little bit upset. I said, well, I get up early in the morning. I meditate. I go to the gym. I work out. I have a healthy breakfast. I do my planning. Every single day, my weeks, my month, my years, I go to seminars. I read books.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that I am lucky? While you go to your home, watching TV, scratching your head, and talking about life, how bad it is. I am not lucky. You have to follow a system. And if you do it, you're going to get lucky too. So that's the key.
Yeah. You create your own luck.
Yeah.
But it does really require a lot of hard work. Sometimes they say you have to be smart, or how does it go? Something you have to work, you don't have to work hard if you're smart, or something like that. But I talk to a lot of millionaires, billionaires, they work hard. You put in so much hours. I'm still working 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning.
One of the seminars I was talking with Brian Tracy. He has written more than 70 books. That's the key. Work hard, hard, hard.
Yeah. You have to put a lot of hours.
That's one of the key to success.
Yeah.
So, work hard and believe in yourself.
A first, that attitude, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I have it in my book, Know Your ABC. You know your ABCs, that A, have the right attitude, B, believe in yourself, C, you have to have the courage and confidence, D, you have to have determination, okay, E, empower yourself so you can empower others, F, you have to have faith in God, H, happy. Where are we now? A, B, C, D, F, G, H. You have to be happy because people like happy people.
Yes.
Right? And then G, good. So you
Good.
can be good to great, right?
Yeah, I was
I.
reading something like it said,
Yeah.
Don't understand life, live it.
Yeah.
Don't understand love, move into love.
Mm-hmm.
Don't understand happiness, just be happy.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Try to be happy. And then you have to have integrity. And that's a lot of people, it's hard for them to create that integrity. But that's so crucial, that's so important for people to respect you
To respect.
and who you are. And then J is, try guess what J.
Tell me.
Some people just do it, but no. Think about Joni and go back to ABC.
Go.
Yeah. Because you forgot the J and it's like, Joni,
Yeah.
right? Now what did Joni said? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So, as simple as that.
Okay, John, now before the program ends, what advice would you give to all of us to be more successful in business and life?
Well, have $1 million attitude. always have that positive attitude, like I said, and willing to work hard. And you have to know how to communicate with people and have understanding and be patient as well. Because if you don't have that patience, people don't want to be around you. And always give that $1 million smile to everyone. Smile to people, talk to people, and be a positive influence. And always really big on volunteer. Yeah, I met a lot of wonderful people.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Joni. Great story, great message, great tips. It was a real pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Peter, for having me.
Our job now is to put into practice what we have learned today, because if we think, and never do, we will never accomplish. Take action today, and always believe, persist, and you will succeed. I am Peter Nicado. Thank you for watching The Winner's Mindset.